Hi guys, so today we will see a new question number 21, which is to create a program such that it simulates a rolling die. When the program runs, it will randomly choose a number between 1 to 6 as a general die or any other integer which the user may prefer. And then we have to print that number after randomly choosing it. Then request the user to roll again. If the user needs to roll again, then we will again ask the min and max value that a number that a dice can show. Then we can continue this thing until user stops. And they have given a case that for average die, that means the minimum is 1 and maximum is 6. As we know, in general case, the average die shows has a number between 1 to 6. So just they have mentioned that. So what we can do is we can simulate this program. So let's just head on to the text editor. So we will put this question here and let's just comment this. So then what we have to do, we have to randomly choose something. So whenever we have to randomly choose something, we have an module called as random. So we have to import that. Then we have to take a number between 1 and 6. So what we can do is we can directly use a function which is random dot rand int. So it will randomly choose some int between this interval a and b. So in the first case, our value is 1 and 6. So let's just print this value. It will return something. Let's just directly print this. So print and execute. So now I received 5. If I again execute, it received 4. Again 4. So it will randomly provide any number between 1 to 6. So similarly, now what we have to do after completing this once, we have to ask for the user whether he wants to roll again. So what we can do is let's just take an input or UI. It will be confused. So user underscore input equal to, we'll take a input and then ask wanna roll the die again. So we will ask him. He may provide a yes or no. Let's just provide that also, y or n. And then this would ask him. So let's just take colon instead of question mark. And this will ask him some values. So if you provide something, if we provide y, then we have to continue this, else we have to stop this. So for looping through this, so for taking again and multiple times input, we know we can use a loop. So as we don't know how many times specifically, whether we have to loop 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, so we can use a while condition. So whenever the condition is false, we can exit the loop. So while user input, user underscore input equal to y. So while this is equal to y, we will continue this. We will ask, and if he wants, if he says yes, then we can print random. Again check if user asks for if user wants or not. So what we can do is let's just execute this. So here user input is not defined. So before we are checking the case, we have to create this variable. So I can create user input and then let's just initialize it by y, means we have to always start. Then we execute, it will ask. If I press yes, I will get a random number 1. So let's just print something before this. So the random value is, and then just end this. So random value. If I execute, wanna roll the die again. So first time we don't want to ask this thing. So what we can do is we can shift this below. So whenever the program starts, it will directly print one random number, and then what we have to do is we have to then take the input. So this has gone into infinite loop because I haven't put any condition. So let's just stop this. So let's just again execute. So now first of all, the random value will be provided, then it will ask wanna roll the die again. If I put yes, it will again execute. Again yes, 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 and now I am satisfied. So I can print n and stop the case. So I can see the program stopped. So similarly this works fine until now we have completed the half of the question. Have to print a number. Then they have also asked request user to roll the die again and then set minimum and maximum number of the die can show. So we have to also set the lower limit and upper limit of a dice can show. So what we can do is we can create low equal to some again integer input. So we will ask the input. So what we can do is enter lower or minimum value to be shown on dice. So then colon this thing. So again the same thing we would require for higher value. So let's just copy this, paste this, and instead of low let's just put high, and then instead of minimum value let's just put maximum. So this should now work fine, but there is an issue. Let's just first execute and then refer to this issue. So first time it is directly printing a random value. Then we have to put whether we wanna roll die again or not. So we can print yes. Then it will ask the low number and high number. So minimum value, let's just assume 5, and maximum would be 100. But I'm getting 6. But let's just see what is the error. So if I put some number above 7 and then roll the die again, I have provided 7. So it will again execute, ask for something, and then if I provide something, so it stopped. Why it stopped? Because it doesn't receive a y. So if we put a y, then only it will ask again, else it will not do. So for doing this, what we can do is we can shift this values low and high before this thing, before printing the random value, because whenever we would start we have to ask the user what is your minimum value and what is your maximum value. So first of all we will ask low and high, and then instead of 1 and 6 we can provide here the low and high value. So now we will get the various value depending on the user input. So what we can do is we can execute this again. So it is asking enter a minimum value to be shown on dice. So let's just take 1, and okay, so I just put an enter. So minimum value would be 1, maximum would be 6. So I'm getting a random value which is 5. So if I again wanna roll the die, I will press yes, and then again value would be 100 and then 200. So any number between 100 to 200. So I'm getting 100. So if I again put yes, then again 100 and 200, I should get a random value which is now 183. Then I don't want to roll the die again, so I can put a n and the program will stop. So similarly, if we check some edge cases, if we put this empty, then it will throw an error. So we would compulsory require some value. So then if we put some value here and some other value 1, so this may also throw an error because we have put a wrong number. So minimum value is 10 and maximum value is 1. So this can't happen because minimum value is greater than maximum value. So this is a wrong condition. Therefore it is throwing an error, empty range for rand range. So it is saying empty because there is some issue with this range, because we have provided reverse range. Therefore it is throwing this error. So what we can do is we have to always put some greater number, or what we can do is we can handle that input. So we have to put some number 10 and 10 to 100. Then it will provide some random value. Again it will ask wanna roll. So if I put here some other value instead of y and n, so it will automatically stop, because what we have put a condition if and if only and if and only if when the user input is yes, then only we have to roll the die again. If he is printing some other output, the other input, then we can stop the case. So similarly we can go on continuing. So it will ask minimum value, let's just take 500, maximum value would be 600, and then I am getting some random value. Again wanna roll the die, yes, I will put 6 and 7, so I will get any value between 6 and 7, which is 6 or 7. Then let's just put again yes 1 and 1, so random value would be 1. Let's just take again yes 18 and 299, so some random value. Now I have to stop this thing, so I will put n and the program will stop. So this is a basic program for this question, program to simulate the rolling die thing. So instead, if you always want to start with 5 and 6, 1 to 6, you can default this value to 1 and 6 for the first case. Then depending on the value, you can ask what can be the minimum value, what can be the maximum value. So like that you can do the thing. Then so this is all for this lecture. Let's just meet in a next lecture.